I just cleared $1,400 today flipping phones. And these are the exact models, nothing crazy, just smart source. If you've been sitting on the sideline watching phone flipping videos just like this is your sign. It's time to actually stop watching and start doing. And if you watch until the end, I'll expose my exact system for you to copy and paste and get similar results. Phone flipping is one of the best ways for resellers to make consistent income without needing physical inventory in a warehouse or even a store. Not to mention, you don't even need a huge amount of upfront cash. You need around $300. And the biggest part about it was today wasn't a massive score. It was normal, a repeatable process that I actually get because of a system I use. Most new flippers lose money because they're buying the wrong phone, they're selling the phone to the wrong buyer, whether it is a wholesaler or even a consumer. They're pushing these phones out to people that don't actually value them. Not to mention, they're not checking the phone completely. They're not looking at the in-depth green or even red flags. I'm going to show you the real numbers so you can avoid this trap. Here's the breakdown. So we have an iPhone 16 Pro Max 256 locked. This was brought at $555, sold for $650. Then we have an iPhone 16 Pro 256 locked. This was brought for $485, sold for $522. Then we have an iPhone 16e 128 unlocked. This is brought for $155, sold for $200. And we have an iPhone 14 Plus. This was brought for around like $45, sold at $70. Total $1,442 made. Now, let's not be fooled. The investment was a little different. Some were good, some were bad. But let's actually break down why that is. Some may sound or look more sexier than others because of circumstance. Now, the iPhone 16 Pro Max 256 locked. Number one, I would rather buy all locked phones rather than unlocked phones because locked phones give you a more vast demographic to attack. And that would be the people that are trying to get phones that are upgraded with their carriers but can't because they don't have good credit or their account doesn't let them or they didn't pay their device off all the way. These are going to be clientele that are looking actively to buy phones rather than somebody that wants an unlocked phone but can just go to Apple. And then you may say, well, somebody may want an unlocked phone and one may want a deal. Well, you're right, but here's the problem. Unlocked phones sit around 45% longer than a regular locked device. So if you're trying to actually push these phones that you're investing in out, you want to buy a phone that's locked. Now, one thing I would say is never ever, if you can try, to avoid AT&T locked phones, as these devices don't necessarily have anything wrong with them, but the carrier itself is horrible because AT&T has had several breaches throughout the years and they lose their customer base consistently. They have really high turnover. Now, T-Mobile is one of the good places for you to buy devices because they kind of retain their customers. And also, they're more of a budget-friendly network, and you'll find people have low credit. They have Samsungs or even older iPhones just looking to upgrade. But when you look at something like an iPhone 16e unlocked, you may be wondering, why are you only getting $200? Well, an iPhone 16e is a device just like the 17e that is sold practically from these carriers for free. Therefore, wholesale buyers aren't going to break the bank to sell these. And then lastly, the iPhone 14 Plus 128 is not a popular device. It is fairly old and it is a Plus model and it's locked. Plus models in any sort. We're talking about the 14, the 15, the 16, all Plus models suck. They do not sell well. People don't go and search for them, nor are they trying to buy them. So you'll find yourself having to sell it to a buyer for a low cost, and that can be counterproductive. This system has to do with you not overpaying. That's number one. You do not want to overpay. I don't care if you have $1 billion to work with, you still don't want to overpay for these devices. You want to make sure that you are buying them at market value or close to market value. Now, in this system, you have to understand we plan on selling these phones to two types of people. But we're going to focus on one of the most productive. That's going to be a wholesale buyer. Now, you also have a consumer, but we'll save that for another video. Now, the wholesale buyer is going to be a person that's going to buy the phone faster than a regular consumer would, right? Somebody just looking for a device. When you're dealing with a wholesale buyer, you're dealing with them essentially because you want to get that phone off of your hands. Now, whether it is a used phone or a new, even though you guys know I prefer to buy used, you want to make sure you're not going to go and try to get the newest device. I would say stay in the realm of the 15s to around the 16s. If you do go into the 14s, make sure you're not spending anywhere above $150. Now, starting small has to do with your budget. Now, I would recommend anywhere between $200 to $300 starting out flipping phones. This is because you can find some good phones for $300 and also some really good budget ones for $200. Now, the least you invest, the more you're going to have to switch and pivot on how you sell. So if you are going to go ahead and invest for an iPhone 17e, and let's say you paid $275 for that phone, that's great. That's a good buy. But a wholesale buyer won't pay that much for that device. But you want to know who will? Somebody that is on T-Mobile that's trying to get their daughter or son a device but don't want to finance through T-Mobile. That is going to be your target market. So while you are making these offers for these phones, you want to always have a target market in mind. Now, speaking of offers, how do I make my offers? When I go on platforms like Facebook and offer up, I am following metrics. Now, metrics are numbers that you use to essentially track your business, your success rate, your conversion rate, and also the failures. So what I like to do is I like to give myself a number of listings I need to make throughout the day for a whole week. So it could be for 5 days, I want to make 10 listings on Facebook, 10 listings on offer up. I do this to figure out what platform in my area is giving me the best leads. Leads are going to be people that are actually negotiating with you to actually sell the phone. Now, after they're negotiating with you, you need to learn how to close. The number one rule in learning how to close is learning how to walk away. Why? Well, it's kind of counterproductive in some people's eyes, but it is really, really proactive. When you're willing to walk away from a deal, people will always find that they need to push and talk more. You don't want to be the person typing a paragraph trying to explain why the phone is priced at that way or for the price that you're trying to offer. You want to be the one that says, okay, cool, well, hit me up and go about your day. Now, speaking of hit me up and going about your day, you need to make sure you have some type of form of communication. So you can have an email, you can have a phone number. I recommend a phone number, get a Google Voice, or get another app on your phone that gives you another little sideline number. This is why I get a lot of my sales, is because I have other numbers where when I do walk away from deals, people can still hit me up. When they hit me up, usually it's because they haven't found somebody that's willing to offer them higher than me and they want to work with me. Now, when it comes to working with people and closing deals, another thing in the system that I have is making sure people are always coming to me. I don't go to people. Now, they don't come to my house. They come to somewhere close to where I'm at that time. You need to have delegated places around you where you are willing to meet people. Well lit, maybe some cameras. I rather always meet near an ATM rather than meet in a random store. Because you'll meet people that, oh, I don't have this amount of money or that amount. Well, it's the ATM right here, and ATMs always have cameras. The number one goal is to walk away with the phone and walk away with your life. You want to be safe, but you also want to make sure that you are closing that deal, getting the phone that you expect. If you want to learn more about phone flipping and the more about the system to the point to where you can actually do it, and I walk you through it in live time while you're actually going through it consistently with the live support for the rest of your life, join the Phone Flipping Academy. See, I have an academy that does not focus on trying to teach you how to sell and buy phones using Facebook ads or buying phones on eBay. And nor do I have an academy that tries to lie to you to tell you that phone flipping is going to be ultra productive and profitable. No, what my Phone Flipping Academy does is a 4-week trial where we are going through videos and also weekly classes while you're a part of my community forever, for life, you get access to. And I'm walking you through offer up deals, Facebook deals, and in-person deals. I am your assistant in your back pocket to help you not only get your first sale, but consistent sales. Not only there, we will continue to help you so that you can scale your phone flipping business into a real profitable reselling or refurbishing business. We want you to start selling to real companies. We want you to start buying phones in bulk and selling to people that actually need them in the masses. See, the way that you change phone flipping from being a side income is by actually targeting real businesses, real clientele, healthcare agencies, Amazon DSPs, and other major businesses that need devices when they're trying to upgrade but don't want to actually finance. I'm going to teach you how I actually have done that and I turned my phone flipping business into 4 phone stores and 1 wholesale warehouse. If you guys are looking to grow, build, and most importantly profit, make sure you guys go ahead, click the link below, join the academy. It's only $47, or continue to watch me for free. Subscribe. I drop dimes on here and gems all the time, and I can't wait to continue to work with you guys. If you have any questions, make sure you guys comment below, as I'm always responding. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.